Hello, ni hao, bonjour, konnichiwa, hola, habari, mulishani, and wagwan. Welcome to Beyond Borders podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Dr. Charity Campbell Capella, known in the travel space as Dr. the Explorer, but mostly known as Dr. CK. Here at Beyond Borders, I share transformative travel experiences and cultural insights and help you see that cultural intelligence touches every part of our lives. Now join me as we set out on a journey of cultural discovery and self-reflection. From hilarious travel tales to eye-opening cultural revelations, I'm here to nourish your mind and inspire your soul. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or an armchair adventurer, each episode is packed with aha moments that'll reshape your worldview, practical tips to boost your cultural IQ and your life, inspiring stories that'll make you want to pack your bags, and maybe even a few doctora jingles along the way. So, buckle up, babes, because if you're ready to shatter cultural barriers, ignite your global mindset, and unlock the hidden corners of your own identity, then hit that subscribe button now and get ready for a mind-bending, perspective-shifting, soul-awakening adventure as we blast off to go beyond borders. Hey, friend. Welcome back to another episode with me. I'm so grateful to have you here. Also, if you've noticed, I have not posted anything on Substack because your girl went out sick. I almost didn't make it to today's podcast episode because I didn't record in advance, even though I should have. But I did not anticipate. This was completely unexpected to be out with vertigo for a few days. And if you've ever experienced vertigo, you know that your whole world is spinning. Everything is moving while you're standing. I mean, it is such an unpleasant ordeal. And so I have definitely been out. I've been trying to manage, and I feel like I've gotten so behind. But one thing that I had to do was make sure that I remain consistent and show up with the podcast episode. I just wanted to get on and talk about the fear of the unknown, especially considering the mini-series that I told you that I wanted to start with my 4-year anniversary of quarantine coming up. Well, it's here now. And I've been going into the video footage here and there, and I just don't think that I'm ready because the fear of the unknown, when I returned to China, I had every expectation that the quarantine was only going to be 14 days. That's what they told us. That's what everybody has said. And actually, I was the first lecturer to return. And everybody else was like, hey, let's wait and see how it goes for Dr. C when she gets back. And we'll just follow along because I was messaging everybody in the group as I was supposed to. The university had asked me to message everybody, let all the other foreign teachers know how the process is. Child, I was the worst guinea pig because my experience was just so distraught. Everybody was like, oh my God, what did they detect? What was it that made them say you have to go into the isolation ward? When did they take you to the hospital? What was it like? How much was it? All these questions. And they were asking questions that I didn't necessarily have the answer to because I was living it at that time. They were asking questions ahead of time. They were like, when do you think you're going to get out? Honey, if I knew, I would tell you. And this whole ordeal of being poked and prodded every day like I'm a science experiment was it was truly traumatic for me. It was truly traumatic for me. So going back through the footage and everything, I want to put it out there because there are definitely some valuable cultural intelligence takeaways from that entire experience that I could not see at the time because I was looking through the eyes of fear. Every single day, there was an element of, I don't know what's going to happen today. Every single test that I had to take, y'all, I ended up with over 40 COVID tests during that time. They were just administering it. They had to. It was part of their protocol. But did I care about protocol at the time? Not in the beginning. I was so scared. I was frustrated. I was isolated. I felt lonely. I was really afraid. And I'm not a fearful person. I'm not usually a fearful person, but at that time, I was very afraid because here I was, and I felt really bad, honestly, because I had been in China for 3 years at that time, for a little over 3 years at that time, and my speaking capability was still poor. I was speaking toddler Chinglish. Chinglish is Chinese and English, okay? I was speaking toddler Chinglish. So I could communicate some, but it was not enough. But thankfully, technology helped a lot. That's where all of our communication came in at. I didn't need an interpreter or a translator because I could use the translation app, and the nurse, the doctor, the medics, the intake people, the ambulance, the people at the hotel, the quarantine hotels, everything, just communicating back and forth, showing text message or communicating through WeChat. So I guess that component of cultural intelligence really did help. But in terms of my emotions, I think that the emotional intelligence part, I really wasn't having it. I really wasn't having it because I was just so afraid of the unknown. I was so afraid of what would happen next because nobody else had gone through the same experience. Anyone else that I had talked to from other universities or other cities or just even other companies, when they returned, their quarantine, they complained about it because it was 14 days in a hotel. So I was fully prepared to spend 14 days in a hotel that is still not, it's not a resort, y'all. These hotels were actually reserved for quarantine. So there's tons of exits and facilities and features and functions that are completely cut off because you're stuck in your room for 14 days. And so a lot of the Americans that I knew who had already returned to China, and they did their 14-day quarantine, I was going based off of that. That was my known. So that's what my expectation was. I fully expected that. But honey, when this stuff happened to me, and mine was totally different, all of them were like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening to you. We didn't have to do any of this. I mean, it was just a lot. It was a lot. And so that fear of the unknown, I wanted to pull that out because that for me was a recurring theme as I started looking back at this content that I've just been sitting on and holding for 4 years. The fear of the unknown is just so powerful because it can cause you to become stagnant, stuck, stifled, not move forward. The fear of the unknown can cause you to give up and quit. For those of you who have lots of dreams and goals and all these amazing things that you truly want to accomplish, it is so sad for us when we allow fear to rob us of our future. Even now in 2025, at this time of the recording, there's about to be a shift in power in the American government. And a lot of it can bring fear upon us. I was thinking about this as waiting for my husband's visa to continue, his visa process to continue and to be approved. It's been over a year now. And my prayer has just been, okay, Lord, regardless of who comes in office next, regardless of what happens next, let me put my hope in you. And please let his visa be approved. Just let the whole visa process go ahead and finish before things get worse. But that's the thing. Fear of the unknown says, okay, as soon as this next president gets in the seat, get in power, all hell is going to break loose. But who said that's true? I am not a supporter or a fan of the next president, but honestly, who says that it's going to be bad? History, of course, history says it could be bad, but we really don't know. It's the unknown. And so putting fear out there, literally allowing myself to live in fear before even knowing what could happen. At this point, it's just best to trust God, live your life, and hope for the best. Now, if it does turn bad, okay, then at least that was a part of the expectation. But I'm also wondering if that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? If I'm saying that this unknown thing is about to happen. And then the thing is unknown. Like, you're just guessing, right? We're just guessing. But if this is about to happen, it's about to be super bad. It's going to be all of this. Am I creating a self-fulfilling prophecy? Am I putting it out into the atmosphere? Is it going to be a part of a manifestation saying that, oh, America, a lot of people going to start leaving America and moving? And what I have found is that for years, people have been talking about leaving America, moving, but America offers such a level of comfort, and it's just people are comfortable living in the known. This is what they're known, what they know. This is what they are used to. This is what they haven't known anything else. And so many people are afraid of the unknown, which is living overseas, living in another country. Okay. And I tell you, had I listened to the fear of those who loved me back in 2017, I would have never gone abroad. I would have never went back abroad. So the thing is, actually, I would have never backpacked through Europe by myself. I would have never moved to China by myself. I would have never continued to live in China by myself. I would have never gone on my mini tour of Africa, visiting 6 countries during the pandemic by myself. I would have never done any of the things that people who love me, truly love me and care for me, were afraid for me to do, because it's a part of their unknown. So going back to the whole, everybody's trying to leave America, everybody who really is positioning themselves to move and to leave. Because those who truly want to, they're researching, they're studying, they're asking people like me, what is it like to live overseas? But I'm telling you, only one person has asked me so far, and that was last year before this whole election thing happened. So if you are serious about moving overseas, don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from doing it. You should be in contact with people like myself. And you can actually find my contact details in the show notes of today's episode, because I feel like this year I need to be a champion for those who are truly facing the fear of the unknown. How can I help you build your confidence to really walk out your dreams, whatever that is? If it's the dream of living abroad, or if it's the dream of starting to travel abroad, or if it's the dream for my English language learners, if it's the dream of being able to communicate confidently in English without feeling embarrassed, without feeling, as we say in China, like you're going to lose face, that I'm here for. That I want to help with, because the fear of the unknown should not be the thing that rules your life in 2025. So that's all I got for you all. I need to go drink some water and do my head exercises so I can feel rebalanced and fight this vertigo on today. But I thank you so much for tuning in, and I will definitely see you next week. Listen, I want to thank you for listening to Beyond Borders podcast. I can't express my gratitude enough. It humbles me to know that you tune in every week to learn from me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Beyond Borders podcast. Download today's episode, rate, comment, and share so we can ignite a cultural revolution all across the globe. I also invite you to connect with me on YouTube, Pinterest, and my newest adventure, Substack. Let me know what kind of cultural insights and travel experiences you'd like to see more of. Also, if you have any questions or would like to be a guest on the show, please email me at charity@drtheexplorer.com and someone will respond in a timely manner. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, remember to keep your mind open and your suitcase ready. See you in the next episode as we go Beyond Borders.